Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. Hope you're having a good one. What's good, what's good, what's good? Sorry I'm a little late. We've been kind of burning the midnight oil over here. Excuse me. So it's been incredibly interesting. Oh, that's not what I wanted. I want this. Sorry about that. I'm just trying to get my notes in order and then we'll really be good. There you go. So yeah, on our side for me and my team. It's been a crazy day. Adding more features, adding some polish, speeding up the process for everything. Um, you know what? What am I talking about? Why don't I just show you what we've been working on? I mean, you guys have seen a lot of this, and then we'll get to the news and have a regular show and everything. I just feel like, wow, we've kind of gotten there a little bit, so I'm a little happy. So bear with me. So, like I said, you've got the articles. Boom. Right? Articles are there. The staff is writing the articles, all that good stuff. You've got the feed. As you see, there's a little bit of an upgrade on the feed. I can delete that. And then, see what I mean? So if you're paying attention and you're a big bagger and you can log on, you should be logging on because you're able to do a whole bunch of stuff. By the way, if you're a big bagger, you should know I will not be responding to anything, any place except right here. And during the lives, I'll include YouTube. But this is where we're going to converse. This is the spot. This is absolutely the spot. And we've got more. We've got a couple of more things coming. So we're more than just a little bit happy about where we are right now. Let me just close some of these windows because we don't need them all. Let's go over to Vimeo. Apparently I have to close. There's an additional stream. Whew. There is a lot. There is a lot going on, and we are mad happy at the moment. We are mad happy at the moment. Just bear with me for a second. I just want to make sure that we turn off that additional stream. Live events. And did you notice the market? Did you notice that Bitcoin went down today? Like, tell me that you noticed that. Friday flips. And destinations. YouTube is off. There's not an additional stream. Oh, okay, that's fine. Now I know what it is. We're really good right now. We are so good right now. But yeah, so we've been doing a lot. Hopefully we will have everything up and running. I mean, right now, technically, you can go to the site. You can actually log in. Some of you can log in. We'll send you special emails. We'll send special emails out to everybody so that they can log in. That already have accounts. We'll invite you to rejoin over here on the platform. It really is just awesome to see that, we've come so far, so fast. You have no idea how happy we are right now. You have no idea just how happy, like just ecstatic, absolutely ecstatic that we've been able to get this far with everything that we've been doing. It's insane. It is absolutely insane. Let me just move these notes over here. All righty. Metaplanet secured a $50 million loan using Bitcoin as collateral, and they're using it. Why? Of course, to buy more Bitcoin. I mean, who are we kidding? There were a couple of other pieces of news that I want to bring you guys that were a little special that aren't on today's notes. JP Morgan shocking predictions. S&P 500 will skyrocket in 2026. That's what they're thinking. JP Morgan has forecasted a significant rally in the S&P 500 into 2026, driven by outperforming sectors like financials and technology. Yes, but again, I still bring up that there are a couple of funny things going on with regard to OpenAI. I think OpenAI is its own bubble. So instead of AI being a bubble, I think it's its own bubble. right? And they've got problems right now because a court has ordered that they hand over the logs for ChatGPT for their lawsuit, or the lawsuit against them by the New York Times. That's going to be a huge problem for them. Huge. I don't think that goes away easily. Not at all. Not at all. That does not go away easily. What else do we have? Truist Bank, an employee there allegedly stole $69,000 by getting around certain practices and procedures, and that's as per the FDIC. They said that it's fraud. That's a problem for a bank. Truist is a decent sized bank. And then blockchain analytics platform Arkham Intelligence reported Circle increased USDC supply by $750 million following a crypto market correction. Something for us to keep it, to kind of pay attention to. Oh, so I'm like stoked. You have no idea. I just saw something that the guys are working on. This is why I'm so stoked. The guys are working on something, and that's why I was late to the show tonight, because they were showing me what they can do and in the time frame that it can happen. So our efficiency has increased by threefold. Literally, our efficiency has increased by threefold, like measured. So we'll be moving a lot faster. We'll be able to do a lot more things. A lot more things. Wow. Mind. So, Vanguard introduced spot Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and XRP ETF, signaling a structural shift. And yes, they did. Yes, they did. That was not a small thing. It was planned, it was orchestrated, and it was orchestrated well. Like, very well. They know exactly what they're doing now. I'm still waiting for, because I haven't heard anybody actually come out and say, hey, we were wrong, blah, blah, blah. I didn't see the Larry Fink moment. And I really want that. Just for myself, I kind of want Vanguard to have the Larry Fink moment. But now that you actually have Vanguard, Fidelity, Charles Schwab, BlackRock, now that you have a lot of the big boys in that space, I bet you didn't know there are bigger companies out there with even more money. Yup. And now they're starting to plan to get in. That's no joke. That is absolutely no joke. So I'm looking at the investment. I want you to pay attention to something. While retail panics and FOMO's in and out because they have lettuce hands, institutions are racking up. Bitcoin, Solana, Ethereum, XRP, Chainlink, they are racking up. They're just all about it, all over it. And for me, I'm not loaded. Sprinkle, sprinkle. I've got to sprinkle, sprinkle. Right? I mean, I've got to do it, DCA style, dollar cost averaging. But that's what I'm doing. So when the market takes a dive, I'm in. When the market goes up, I'm in. Dive, in, up, sideways, I'm in. Because there's too much going on for me not to be involved. I'm not even big enough to be called a guppy. You ever hear in Florida, they got those things called no-see-ums? That's how big I am. I'm a no-see-um. You can't even see it with your naked eye. But again, I go back to the point of, I honestly believe that we need to invest in order to survive. The way the U.S. economy is going, we need to invest just to survive. I mean, I look at it as having multiple jobs. One of my jobs is investing. Can't make money all the time, which is why I'm risk averse in certain cases. But I do my own research. I know my entries and exits, and I absolutely invest deliberately. And since I have no plans on retiring, I just keep going. So time is on my side still. And some people are like, why wouldn't you want to retire? I actually love what I do. I'm one of those people. People wonder why I'm up at 4 a.m. People, I am up. My brain is firing at 4 a.m. I'm checking markets. I'm doing research on articles. I'm reading emails from my team that have been up before me or just never went to bed. We work strange hours. Don't judge. Because we love what we do. I've surrounded myself with people that are smarter than I am and love what we do. It's fun. You should hear us in the office. We literally will be on video conference calls yelling at each other, telling each other to shut up and listen. Because sometimes you actually need to say that to get the idea across. So you know how I tell my stories and it sounds like I'm going round and round, and then I bring it all home into that one little package and you kind of go, oh, now I see what he's saying. Yeah, because sometimes for some people, they're not going to get it unless they can relate to it. So I try to give it to you in a way that you can relate to. It's sort of like, when would I ever use algebra? Yeah, try installing molding in your own house. To doing anything with regard to measuring. Yeah, and you'll see how that comes to it. So it's the same thing with investing. Sometimes you have to see a situation and walk through that situation for that bulb to go off. And by the way, because you've walked through that situation, you'll remember that situation. You'll be able to recall it. And that right there is the golden nugget. To be able to remember what you were doing. Be able to recall that. Just saying. What else we got going on? We've got, I'm going to read you my notes. Buenos Aires integrated cryptocurrency into its municipal payment system, allowing Dogecoin payments with Binance partnering for education and Dogecoin ETF filing. Wow. Remember what I told you about infrastructure and adoption? Those are the things I look for. And those are the things that we're getting. Yeah, love that. Absolutely love that. XRP price dropped. Everybody's price dropped today. Everybody's price dropped. I mean, I'm talking like it right now. Bitcoin's at $89,420.73. That's a big drop from 93, isn't it? We went in the wrong direction. Sell on Fridays, right? It'll be like that until people realize, holy moly, I had better think about, remember I told you about precious metals? And then something over here. No, I have not done any research on SHIB as of late. I haven't seen anything in the news. And have you invested in yourself today, young man? And where is Patient One? Ethereum is down at basically 30.56. When I look at these numbers, I'm just like, man, how are we not all about this? How are we not all over this? It's insane. It's absolutely insane that we're not paying attention to the opportunities that are being availed to us. Let's suppose the numbers go down a little bit more. I think the lowest number I heard was 60. Somebody said 60, 65. Let's pretend it goes down to 65. That actually becomes the floor. Let's rock with that. Okay? Just hold that thought in your head. Put it right there. Put it right there. If that's the lowest number, then what we said before about never seeing 50 again, never seeing 55 again, all those other numbers we'll never see again, right? Right? Because that's going to be the new low. Okay, cool. Now, hold that again right there. Hold that right there. Then what happens? We go up. So we dropped from 69 to 15, and we bounced all the way up to 126 and change. What does that look like when you're at 60 and go up? Not everybody's going to run to precious metals. It's going to be precious metals and crypto. I was listening to something today, and it hit me because I firmly believe in that. Banks got bailouts in 2008, right? They all got bailouts. too big to fail. What was that? They all got paid for screwing us over. Nobody went to jail. We all paid for them to stay in business because they're too big to fail. So think about this, what they did. People couldn't afford to stay in their homes because they were too busy giving out loans that people could not afford, waiting for them to fail. Waiting for them to fail. I remember eons ago, I was looking to buy a house, right? It's my first house. And we were looking and came across this beautiful house. Beautiful house. No, this is an apartment. And then somebody said, you can afford this. So we went home, looking over the numbers. The numbers looked great. And then we caught something. I hope you're all sitting down because I don't want you to pass out and bump your head. The numbers worked out great until we figured out one problem. What was the problem, Eddie? How do we eat? We didn't have a food budget, and in that budget, we had already used every single penny. No food budget. How are we going to eat? So clearly, they were willing to give us a loan that we couldn't actually afford, but we were going to be approved for. So a lot of people went for those loans because they thought that it was going to work out. It didn't work out. And then that whole fiasco happened. People lost their homes and all that good stuff. What happened to those homes? A lot of companies swooped in and bought them. Yeah. So not only did they swoop in and buy them, but then the banks got paid to stay in business. Thanks, Lieutenant, for letting me know you invested in yourself. Bob Franklin, what's good? Well, how come I don't know that name? Was that your first comment? Welcome. So yeah, and it's happening again. It's happening all over again. Remember, nobody went to jail and everybody got paid. Nobody from those banks went to jail. But they set up that whole thing. And it played out. Second time here. Second time? Stay for a while. This is a great community. Stay for a while. All things investing. And check out growmybag.tv. We've got like 12,394 articles or something like that. Yeah, those are just the articles. That's not the videos even. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff going on. Do you think Ripple is buying up XRP to keep the price above $2? Good question. I don't think so. I really don't think so. I mean, it can't hurt. But remember, they're investing too. They don't own XRP anymore. They own XRPL. Just found me last week. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. So this is your second time here. You found me last week. So it was last week that you found the community and you're coming back for more today. That's awesome. Let me ask you a question, just real silly. 2 questions. One, just what general area you're from, what country, something like that. And then have you gone back to watch the older videos? I'm also interested in that because I know a lot of people that do that. And Friday Night Flips, for all those that are listening. Friday Night Flips is one of those nights where I'm totally cool with really having a conversation. Friday Night Flips is not just about delivering news. Tonight is a conversation night. We can talk about anything. Friday Flips, anything investing, that is. So stocks, bonds, options, crypto, real estate, buying businesses, selling businesses, starting businesses. Have at it. Arizona. Sweet. Oh, you should. You definitely should. There's a lot of information back there. And like I said, if you go to growmybag.tv, just about everything I talk about is an article over there. Just saying. Just saying. And we're soft launching our new social media platform right now. We've got to turn on direct messaging. We've got to turn on the ability to send invitations, and we have to turn on DMs. So DMs, connections, and invitations. And it's not like we have to go do that work. We already did the work. We literally just have to turn it on. Maybe make it look cute. That's it. That's where we are. That's really where we are. But the new style of the site is actually up and running right now. And if you're a member, you can actually comment on the articles, comment in the feed. If you're a big bagger, you already know we also have a separate feed for the big baggers where we talk about more deep stuff. So yeah, a lot. Malaysia combated illegal Bitcoin mining operations. Basically, they were stealing power. $1.9 billion worth of electricity. That's a lot. We must understand we have investors and traders that have different points of view. That's right. 8 paws in his house. Thank you for letting us know that you invested in yourself. Yeah. You have investors. You have traders. That's true. You have business people, because investing isn't always, I'm going to buy stocks and stuff like that. I'm going to buy crypto and stuff like that. Investing is also, I'm thinking about opening up a new store. I'm thinking about buying that business. I'm thinking about, starting a REIT with my friends. See what I mean? Thinking about buying some real estate, stuff like that. Investing is not just digital assets, stocks, bonds, options, that kind of stuff. Just saying. Just putting it out there for you. Bitcoin digital asset treasury sector lost 27% in a month and 41% in 3 months as prices fell below 0.75 quantile. Now, the reason why that's important is because you had a lot of these companies start buying while the price was above. So the price being down in the 80s, even the high 80s, price being there, they're underwater. A lot of those DATs are underwater. Yeah. So think about that. That's not strategy, or formerly known as MicroStrategy. That's not their problem. They have a lower price point, remember? He's been in the game since it first went all the way up to 69, all the way back down to 15, and all the way back up to 126, and all the way down to 88. He's been in the game. And he's been sprinkle, DCAing. Yeah. And people think he's nuts. And I'm just like, you're all going to think he's nuts until it hits 120, 126, 150, 200. That's when people are going to sit there and just go, maybe he wasn't so crazy. And he'll be so deep in the black that it won't be funny. Just saying. Building up on crypto with staking rewards and DeFi. In your head, it's a business. Building up crypto like BTC, PaxG are reserves, in my humble opinion. That's for you. Those definitions are for you. I don't disagree. I don't agree. They're for you. Nothing wrong with it. That's how you look at it. That's a part of your risk framework. That's how you see things. And I say that because what are the things that I preach all the time? We need to develop our risk frameworks. Whenever you say, oh, my gut tells me not to do that, try to understand your gut. What is your gut saying to you? What was the situation? How did it come to that conclusion? Start writing that stuff down, because that's all a part of your risk framework. Something in you says, oh, don't do that. Now you know why that third rule is, right? That third rule, this one, absolutely invest deliberately. If your gut's telling you no, you're not absolute in your decision. And if you're not absolute in your decision, you can't invest deliberately. That's how it works. That's how it works. But it's based off of your risk framework. Hutenek's absolutely right. Right? So if you guys have questions tonight, this is a safe space to ask questions. I don't always have the answers, but the community usually does. Isn't that awesome? Even I will be sitting here sometimes and be like, hey, guys, I don't know the answer to that. Can somebody go look that up for me? And bam, you got like 15 people looking it up. No joke. It's a great place to be. A great place to be. What else we have going on? Cardano underwent protocol version 11, a quiet reset to enhance network resilience and reduce DeFi costs, with governance restructuring proposed to compete against Ethereum and Solana. Against, not as much. I can see against Solana. I don't see against Ethereum. In the long run, I think there are going to be different use cases for Ethereum and Cardano. Yes, they do overlap. But yes, a great part of them is on the outside of that overlap. That's why I'm saying I think they can both exist. Solana, on the other hand, I think Solana gets squeezed from below by Cardano and up top by Ethereum. Sometimes people don't believe me, and I'm like, you should probably believe me. Do your own research, and then you'll probably come to the same conclusion. It's nothing amazing. It's nothing amazing. It's just one of those, do your own research. Maybe after doing your own research, you still don't understand, but after doing your own research, you're capable of having a more, cognizant conversation about a topic. And that can help lead you to your understanding. That's the beautiful part. Right? Always do your own research. Always, always, always. Just saying. What else we have? Cantor Fitzgerald cut Strategy's 12-month price target to $229 from $560, maintaining an overweight rating despite a 30% crypto price decline and an $8.2 billion in convertible debt maturing in 2028. Yeah, I don't think Strategy is going to have a problem. 2028, I don't think they're going to have a problem, at all. By that time, I'm expecting Bitcoin to be high six figures. Just living there. It's when I look at how Bitcoin pumps up, I also look at this is where it is. And I think that we won't see these below this number ever again. I contemplate both. The up and the down. The up and basically what I believe to be the bottom, based on obviously real numbers. So there's that. So interesting. A Maryland man was sentenced, this is what I found interesting, was sentenced for aiding North Korea's cyber operations, which generated $2 billion. I believe the number was even bigger than that in 2025 alone, through cryptocurrency theft and social engineering tactics. All through his laptop. Because they come here, get jobs remotely, pay people to show up at the jobs, and using them to help attack companies and people. Be careful, is what I would say. Absolutely be careful. So that's the news that I have for this evening. That's Just about everything. We've been working really hard. So I still do research. The team still does research, but today was a little bit different. We were just nose down trying to get this stuff done. And we finally got it done literally 2 minutes into when I was supposed to start the show, and sat there and saw fruit. It's amazing. Know your average cost. Yeah, that's one of the features of the GMB crypto tracker that we have to turn on. Right now, we're just showing prices, but you'll also be able to enter in things so that you can enter in your purchases and things like that. So you can actually see your calculated, average price. Yeah. You'll be able to see your high, you'll be able to see your low, and you'll be able to see your average price. Very ridiculously valuable information. Ridiculously valuable. I don't know if you guys remember, but back in the day, I started with an Excel workbook that did all of these calculations. And so we've transferred a piece of that over to the website. We still have to move over the rest of it. And that's when we really have some good stuff. We have to decide how we file taxes, like first in, first out, or highest in. What is it? Hi-ho or something like that? I forget what it is. Highest in, first out. HIFO. So you have a lot. You might have tax harvesting involved as well. So who should be on your team? CPA, right? Tax attorney. If you're old and stodgy, dodgy like me, you need a trust and wills attorney. I need a regular business attorney. Why? Contracts. Right? I need a contract attorney, and they understand contracts and stuff like that. How we can structure business deals and things like that. Good bookkeeper. Best practices, all that good stuff. And absolutely awesome record keeping. That's what you really need. That's what you really need. And of course, you need to do your own research on, if you're doing digital assets, where you're going to hold your assets. If you're still using a bank, what bank or banks you should be using for what reasons. If you're looking at real estate, you need to have your friends in that space. Real estate broker, general contractor, electrician, HVAC, all that good stuff. You need to have that team in your back pocket, so that when you go look at things, you can go do that. My friend John, he's got that on lock. So whenever I want to do something, I just make one phone call. Got all that. Got to know what kind of team you want to put together. You've been FIFO from the beginning. Yeah, I like HIFO. Highest in, first out. It depends on what's easier, because my accountant Christy Nicholas, she'll run both and tell me which is better for me. That's what she does. She'll be like, oh, this year you're gonna do this. Ran the numbers. Here's what this looks like. Here's what this looks like. And here's the best choice. Christy Nicholas is no joke. She's absolutely no joke. Been with her for 20 years. I ain't going nowhere. I'm not going anywhere. I can ask her a question anytime. She'll answer it. She's an awesome CPA. And yes, I want a CPA on my side because CPA files my taxes. And if I ever have to go stand in front of somebody, my CPA is standing right there with me. Ta-da! They are joined at the hip with me, or she's joined at the hip with me, because she's putting her name on the paper. She's putting her name on the paper. So she's going to make sure that things work the way they're supposed to work. She does not believe in red flags. So we pay taxes. It's right there on the board. If you're making it, you're paying it. I'm not upset about that at all. At all. It's kind of cool, actually. I don't know. You guys are kind of quiet tonight. On a Friday Flips, so quiet? That's insane. That is absolutely insane. Most people I talk to in crypto have to go back 6 years now. I told them to file it correctly back then. Yeah, that's not helpful. That's not helpful at all. I'd probably kick you in your shin. I'm glad you told me that before. That's not being helpful now. You're rubbing my nose in it now when you say that. Where's patient one? She needs to do me a favor. That's right. I said it. That's right. That's right. But yeah, no, you've got to figure out how you're going to do your taxes, and you need somebody that's standing, standing tall next to you that knows what they're doing. Strong CPA. And I'm not talking about, I have a CPA and I've been with that CPA for years. No, if you're involved in certain things, real estate investment, this, that, the other, your accountant must also be adept in that stuff. Otherwise, how are they helping you? How are they helping you? If they're not knowledgeable about those spaces, how would they be able to help you? And hopefully you're with an accountant that is accustomed to working with people above your pay grade, right? They're kind of doing you as like a little favor, right? You want this person. Why do you want that person? Because if you're wheeling and dealing and you're trying to grow up, you want somebody to help you aim for the stars, somebody that actually knows what those stars are. And by helping you financially, they can help you get there. Right? This is what you have to do to exercise this tax loophole. The easiest one is probably the Augusta rule. Go look that up. I'm not going to tell you what it is. Go look it up. Or you can buy my book and you can look it up there. But you want people around you that are really, really good at what they do. And you want people, especially on the CPA side, that understand those loopholes above your pay grade so that they can automatically see as soon as you hit a certain point, like, you trigger for this. Yeah, let's get it. If you make this adjustment, you'd qualify for that. And don't be dumb and talk to your CPA only when it's approaching tax time. You should have regular conversations with your team. Because they might be dealing with other people and you can sit there and kind of go, that's interesting. Maybe I should look into that. Aha. Just saying. It's not just about doing your own research on what you're going to invest in. It's also doing your own research on, how to. And then it's also doing research on who can help me. That's what it's all about. So if you've got questions, ask the community. Become a member on growmybag.tv and ask the community. Hit the feed, ask questions. Really looking to step it up? Join the big baggers. Because this weekend, no, not this weekend, the following weekend, 1 week, comes the big bagger meeting where we hop on a video conference call and talk about everything. Everything investing. From real estate to business to assets, all of it. Everything's up for grabs. And we all usually learn a lot. I facilitate. That means I help keep the conversation going. That's all it means. But we all walk away with greater knowledge. Just saying. Just saying. Anyway, I don't want to stay on too long. Doesn't seem like too many people have much to say. That's okay. Sometimes it's a heavy night. Sometimes it's a light night. Tonight seems to be like a light night. But go back, read the articles. There are a lot of topics that we've touched on in the articles today that would probably interest you. Anyway, everybody, this is Eddie J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. I hope you like what I'm doing. If you do me a favor, smash the likes, subscribe to the channel, become a member. And what was the last comment? The first year was crazy transactions. Okay. And have fun with it. Absolutely have fun with it. And everybody, as usual, thank you for your time. Thank you for your patience. And absolutely, thank you for your trust. We've got a lot more coming next week. Stay tuned. Everybody, I'll see you on Sunday for the Sunday roundup. That's when we take a look back at the previous week to see what we think is going to go on next week. And don't forget, the FOMC meets next week. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. So I'm probably going to load up now because I'm expecting good stuff next week. We'll get into that on Sunday. All right. Everybody have a great night. Have a good one. Bye-bye.